Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your Virgo season reading, September 2024. All information to work with me one-on-one is below. You can find my website there, easy access to booking, and contact if you have any questions. And we'll see you there. First of all, what I was picking up on today, as I was thinking about you guys, is that you may feel like you're observing the world more than like you're in it, and a lot of cards just fell out and we're gonna take them and use them. There may be you realizing, you seeing yourself in the world differently. Weirdly enough, all of a sudden, the more that you felt the focus mentally, what then happens is it will feel good at first to be disciplined with something that maybe you've been wanting to for a long time, finally did it, stuck to it. All of a sudden, all of these things that you have swept to the subconscious are being brought to light, especially for Aquarius risings. Capricorn just moved back into your 12th house. So what's coming up, and this is kind of, the cards are walking you through a process. They're walking through this process of that you're noticing what are you holding on to, what are you protecting from where you came from, your lineage, your history. A lot of ancestry has come up, and if it's not there, what mentalities bring you all the way back, and how far they've gotten you, but how they are not going to help you move where you would like to go next. And Mercury has been probably hinting, maybe being very obvious, but to someone who doesn't know what they're looking for, how would you know? Eventually your frustration or after your ego getting taken a hit, or eventually your head becomes so cloudy, maybe even be wary of migraines this month, be wary of, because that also comes from your nervous system and your heart. So there's like all of them right here. So any way that you can stabilize and ground yourself in those ways, I would highly recommend this month, because where these messages are coming in your relationships, not only your work, through your work dynamics, but it's more about what comes up in your partnerships. It's not just work, it's how you feel when you're there. Where's your mind? Right? How do you feel getting regular checkups this month, or scheduling in your dental appointments? Your mind's been on certain things, health related, to take care of, and that will help ease some tension. Weirdly enough, Aquarius, when you're routine with this stuff, you may notice that you feel fine. And if you need you need recommendations, you need new people, you're not feeling as connected to certain healthcare, and now you find that you're being open, you may just run into the right person when you get, and it's the frustration brings you there, or the annoyance of why this can't be easy to find someone good. Well, you want someone well-rounded. Maybe it's time that you take to your hands, you take to your writing. The nervous system needs a new story to enter. So it's taking yourself into the story of your life. That's what this is doing. It's taking yourself into the story of your life, and historically what has worked for you up until this point, but now where you may need to break through and find new ways of connecting to and being open to what it means to be committed to yourself, to your health, to your resources, how that relates to resources too, finding something reasonable or something that works for you. And if you have the resources to do it, don't think twice, especially if you have the resources in the moment. Now, some people would often say, wait, hold back. But if you know you have it and this is what you need, don't wait to spend that somewhere else. Don't wait to spend that energy somewhere else. Something will reveal itself to you. Because if you haven't had a stable healthcare or a stable way of routine of checking in on yourself, or if you have, but it's just no longer giving you what you need, you're looking for something deeper, you're looking for something different, it's going to nudge you along for the next few months. But this month is making it very clear that also, whatever is happening in your life, don't be afraid to share it in your partnership, because they may have the answer for you. It's so interesting how this is how we can see some couples working. We don't know enough, but some people really do. And what I've learned is, like, when you're with someone for so long, that's the person you see every day. That's the person you're with every day. That's the person that ought to know you more than anyone else. So they may not be a doctor nor qualified, but chances are they know you and have been able to observe you. And if they care about you enough, they see and can help you get to that space clear. And sometimes it's just someone simply caring about us and doing those, this is what I was going to say, those mundane routine things that clear up some noise, that maybe the way that you took care of yourself, or the way that you were taught to, or if you weren't really taught to, is now finally cleaning up, helping you clean up. Or if there's places that you just want to deep clean into or deeply look through with your partner or your partnership together, they may be wondering why you're asking all these questions, but it's simply to understand and maybe even connect on that level too. Because that's where maybe some of your creative ideas are coming from. That's how you can make sense of what happened last month. I think a lot's becoming more clear to you now that Mercury has gone into Virgo. And it's helping you realize where you may have been making certain decisions in your life, even in your partnership. And this is maybe where you can bring the conversation. Just a suggestion, of course. Venus is in Libra. Let's connect. It's time to be, there's nothing wrong with being romantic and overhauling that certain place, you know. And being able to express that and express what's in your head and going through your head without feeling like you need to restrict anything. You, especially if you've been with this person for long enough, you should be able to do that at this point. And always be able to express yourself and what's on your mind and your fears and your worries and things that have held you back and things you didn't know until now. And you may not know that they want to go into that deeper with you. And if you're not in a relationship and you're, you know, dating or looking to be in one, you may start and want to find someone who is looking for insight. And it's not that this has to be, because normally how you start something, it can become like that's the way that it is, but it doesn't mean that that has to stay that way. This just means that you off the gate know more about someone, and there's nothing wrong with that, without feeling self-conscious or anxious about how much you want to know them. Not feeling like you have to pull back, but you can actually open up and ask all the questions you want. And then that could be what's transforming in your current relationship or even your friendships, like those very close, intimate connections. And even though with yourself, you may really get to know the way that you think and the way that your thinking is shifting, and which will bring you eventually to a place of much peace within, to be able to see, okay, I'm seeing from the outside and I'm living my experience, but I'm also feeling like I'm observing and living through and seeing other people live. And towards the end of the month, it may feel like I've needed to do that, because sometimes that's how we learn to be more self-aware, more self-conscious in a way that's helpful, right? Not like self-conscious, like I'm insecure. And so what can come from this is that the discipline, the focus that you've brought to your life, and then it has moved you through in these Mercury mental exercise from shifting from one way to another, it's cleared up space for you to feel strong enough. And if you've been asking for the strength, it's coming to you more, and it's been coming to you more. And the more that you allow yourself to realize how strong you are just by facing the things, you know how sometimes facing the thing can feel really scary, and it's like you can feel so small or feel so inadequate, all your insecurities come up. What we don't realize in that moment, and something we need to be reminded of constantly, and Aries is here to put this in just drill it into your head in the kindest, but in the most tough love way possible. Just think of a warrior, right? Is that during those moments is when you are experiencing the strength inside. That's the strength that you need to bring to yourself and realize that your mind has gotten here, so it has to have a way out. There's got to be a way to help heal, and there is. It's a very clear path, and it will feel, and with the major arcanas in the middle, this is about the middle of the month, probably around the eclipse, when you will see what was revealing yourself through situations back just a couple weeks ago. And what has been helpful and what you can no longer value or bring attention to if you are going to make this very clear shift with your mind. Because you know, when your mind shifts, you're finally at a place where you're feeling calm enough to make that shift. You've come up with every obstacle, perhaps. For some of you, may have come up with every obstacle that could possibly get in your way just to feel better about it, knowing that, okay, I got this, I can do it. And yet there is still a surprise element for everyone this week, positive or negative, in the coming week. And what you may realize is that a part of your way of processing and moving forward is giving yourself that mental exercise. And those of you who are tired of thinking, because some of you do, you realize that you'll know anytime that you look back and realize, because a lot of you may have had reflective periods, because I think those memories are sometimes accessed in your body, especially if you're moving your body more, but are accessed at times when we need to remind ourselves that we've done this already in just a different form, that we've done this already to a certain extent. And to remind, because the brain needs reminders. You know, so does the body does too, but when it shifts, it can shift, and it will need like that nudge every day. Like if you're someone working on your posture, working on your alignment, right? You're going to need to focus on your alignment every day and become conscious of it until it becomes second nature. So if this is what you're looking to become second nature, something is going to become deeply processed the more that you connect and commit to the people in your life, to yourself, to your mental health. That is of most important, because if you're getting these, you know, nudges of leaving certain places and you don't understand why, because everything seems fine, it's something just asking you, like, especially if you're really secure physically, the Seven of Pentacles from Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, you don't realize why you know you're grateful, you love, but there's something missing, there's something off, there's something that needs to change. Just take the risk. You've done it before, you've gotten where you are. Hey, be a little independent. Maybe that's where that energy needs to go, is to that deep desire for independence in some area of your life, and come towards Libra season. Venus in Libra is kind of nudging that along and encouraging that momentum, because what a great time to have Venus in Libra, where you're wanting to connect in a different way. So now the people, the relational, the ways that you connect financially with people, the way that you connect with people in your life in general, and the relationships in your life coming from that partnership aspect, it's going to help shape. These people are going to help connect and shape your life in a way where you were just thinking about it, and all of a sudden it's coming to life. It's showing you that it's possible, it's that you're ready, that you're here, that it's for this time, it's for right now, and that you have some kind of control. But the guidance of Venus, and then we head into the Sun of Libra, is going to help, because you'll have a lot more options next month, and you'll want to be certain of your answers and not doubt them. So you're kind of heading through the that's why those are coming up now, because it's connecting you to what will also feel like a more balanced life. Like, this is my issue with people saying, well, you can't have this, or you can't because they don't have it, or they can't see it in their life. If you're looking for balance and that's what you're demanding in your life right now, the way to balance yourself out is to become independent in a way where you don't have to ask anyone questions, that you get to just go and do something on your own that is kind of quiet in the background, but for you, people will see you. It may not be the same people who see you and deal with you every day or work with you or your partner, You'll be seen in a way separate from everything, giving you a different identity. Not that all of your identity will go in that, but it'll demand your energy enough where that balance comes out, because sometimes when we don't utilize this energy that's pent up inside of us, or we don't know what to do with it yet, or we're not directing it, it can fester in the places that we like to have excess energy. And a lot of the time, and this is the way I'll read that. And this month, it's very much mental and then the heart space. So this Hanged Man is saying, get into your body, let yourself meditate, let yourself wander, let yourself dream, be guided a little in that direction. But in your life, because if you're constantly, or especially if you're like looking to start your own business, you're going to have to make a lot of decisions. So you'll want to spend time in your life where you don't have to, where your mind can wander, where you're not necessarily making decisions, but you're giving yourself space, because you don't need to be, you've done all you can. You've done the XYZ thing that you can in the world, and now you're going to be, you're doing your craft, you're doing your thing every day or whatever it is, but you need to make space for your mind to be free, to see, build, to give space to which direction you want to go. Because next season, there'll be so much available to you, but if you don't know where you want to go, it'll feel so overwhelming. As we know, Libra season can be. It'll feel so overwhelming because Venus will move right into Scorpio and it will hit you directly where it hurts. In a way that's healing, yes, but it's also, do you want to spend all of next month where you can be especially making money or connecting to places where you can really call attention to yourself? What will you do when the attention gets there? And that's what this eclipse is having you look at. Who are you in your foundation, right? We took a look at like where you are mentally shifting what no longer works moving forward, what you've developed in the past, that you're taking control, you're overhauling the mind, you're giving yourself space, you're giving your time to observe. But through this eclipse season, you'll also want to make some decisions. And internally, once you make those decisions, you'll realize where that needs to build externally, or literally the right person, the right video, the right connection comes up and shows you how. And you realize, oh, like life is truly supporting me, especially because I think a lot of you know this is a general reading, but you're coming to a pure intention in your life. You're coming to see where it is that in your life where you can bring your purpose, or you're just really deeply discovering the parts of your purpose that need some smoothing edges and need some guidance, and the parts of you that need guidance. So if there's people in your life that you can listen to at this time and you can talk to, and again, it could be your partner, it could be the person that is in your life, or that person who's becoming that person for you. You realize that maybe that's what you need, because you're also that person to see objectively and to, be at that level and just like to listen, to hear someone out. But you also have this aggression to you, not in like a bad way, abrasive, sass, pick any one of those that makes sense to you. This part of you that needs someone to kind of knock heads with, where it's not, no one's taking it personal, because when your words come out, they're sharp, but they don't, it's just, you're looking to explore, you're looking to discover, you're looking to be brought to another level, another height. And asking at this point, when something like Pluto is making their final lap in your subconscious, that final hour, which we'll talk more about in 2 months, probably Scorpio season, 2 seasons, that's what's balancing out. And next season will show you like the partnerships, the value, the demand of that balance, of what that will look like, what that will shape like, because 2 will multiply quickly into 4, and your ideas are multiplying. So you need the safe space, right? You need to be that safe space, and you need to be able to create that energy around you, because as safe as you are and as much as you trust yourself, you can play with things, but like deep down, that's not really what you're about. That will begin to magnetize the energy of your life. And if you're calling in like, well, my space then needs to shift and change, this, it feels too chaotic for my mind. Find that balance in your life. When you feel that way, maybe control something in your area so you're not looking to put it out somewhere else. Because this healing right in the middle is the Hermit card. your mind needs to let itself out in order to let some new and good things in, and for that part of you to feel like you are independent of where you came from, but also you have gained and learned a lot. And that's okay. And you know that. But right now it feels a little bit more vulnerable. It can feel like, if I let go of this, then who am I? Or if I let go of this, then what does that say about me? One thing to always remember, Aquarius, is if you're proud of the person that you are every day, and that's all you, and if that's who you want to be, and that's where your focus is, and how you know how that can affect other people, if that's what you're looking for, and if that's what you're looking towards. For others of you, you basically called in someone in your life to open this arena and give you the advice that you need. It helps relax your head. Aquarius is, you may need space from people who have really strong personalities this month, and it's not because you can't be around them, it's not because you can't be close to them, it's not that at all. Maybe you need to learn to communicate this to people, because people can't read your mind. Even though you think you speak your mind, you don't entirely. And your work is more important right now, so your relationship with and your partner may be more important right now, and your relationship with other people, you may need to find your independence from them too, while also seeking collaboration and health and balance in that arena. And maybe this month guides you to how to communicate with those people, especially if there's an Virgo, Aries, Libra involved. Those are very, even Leo, so that like this corner that we're rounding here of the zodiac. And it could also be like what you're being shown, that the eclipses are also kind of wrapping up in your life as well. And that is to be able to communicate what you need to after you found what works for you. It will help you be able to see where your ego has needed to soften in order for you to get the right ideas, and know that that's okay, right? If there's anyone that can help you have an ego death, it's your partner. If you guys are willing to be open and honest with each other, or your relationships, right? For those of you who are not in a partnership, you may be calling in those kind of people to help you, and vice versa. Because to be able to communicate with different kinds of people, regardless if you love them, is that just what you've thought? Is that what just been implemented in your mind? Let your mind be open. Let your mind heal, and see that maybe, I always go back to things if someone brings them up like over and over again. I was like, maybe I thought I didn't like that, but, and then I all of a sudden I do it again, or try that thing again, and I realize like it's not so bad. Or it just solidifies that I know it's not for me. But I gave myself an experience, right? Don't be so closed off to new experiences, because that is what is going to help you even more, even if it feels heavy. And that's when you know it's time to move through. Communicating to other people, to yourself, how you act in the world right now, that will very much help you, bring you closer to where it is and who it is you're becoming, Aquarius. And it's amazing. The beauty will come through and show you that the way you think is glorious within itself, and you have your own way. Okay, we'll see you in the next part. The link will be below for Patreon right when this comes out. The eclipse video is out, so just an intuitive quick draw of a card for each sign I think is going pretty great. Even if it's like a lot, I guide people to your reading, because that will give you more insight, of course. And then if you want to work with me one-on-one, it's below. I love you, and we'll see you there.